what we always begin with, an opening prayer treatment. So if you would uncross your legs and make sure you're feeling supported, not only by your chair, but by this sacred circle and the process that we're about to move into. So I invite you to close your eyes if you choose. Taking in a very deep and full breath, and find the rhythm in your breathing where there is no pause between the intake and the outflow. Just breathe in and let it flow around and out. And allow yourself to be in this balanced place of infinite spirit as you. And breathe into this idea that there is only one divine essence. One perfect idea. One divine transformation that is ongoing throughout all of this thing called life. And so I know that each one here is in this divine embrace, here to understand a deeper part of themselves, to discover, experience, and to embody the truth of why you're here, not just here, but in this life here, so that from this moment forward, each of us moves forward in the empowered yet peaceful knowing that yes, I can be seen, I can be loved, and I can be the truth of who I am. So I simply breathe that in for a moment. And know with me that in this sacred space, you are safe. You are supported. You are heard. And you are validated. This is the truth as I know it to be. So I release my word, the word of God, unto the law of divine mind, because I know it is already complete and manifest in this mind, the universal mind of the one. You and I am. And please affirm this with me by saying, and so it is.
So first, thank you. We know it's a long day, and we're honored to have each of you here with us. Thank you. I forget if the description of this workshop was actually in the e-blast. Does anybody remember?
There was no description, it just said there was going to be one.
So if you'll permit me, let me read the description and then I'll get a little more with flow. Transformation is the Chico New Thought theme for 2016. What is transformation about? It's about your personal story, your connection to your inner wisdom. To transform means connecting, growing, and expanding your awareness of your truth with a capital T that resides deep within you. This way you can experience who you truly are. Your perception holds the key to your expanded awareness and to your experience of the true you. You become the story you tell yourself. What story are you telling? How do you illuminate and elevate your awareness about your true self so that you may transform your life? This workshop will provide you with a couple opportunities to expand both your awareness and your experience of the true you. You'll leave with a couple tools to use in your spiritual practice so that you can continue your process of transformation even after the workshop is over. So that's our intentions for today. We do, as I mentioned, we have two major activities with some minor activities within each of those. So I want to first get the business out of the way, and then Michael and I are going to model the first process that we're going to do together. So I'm going to say pair, 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 and perfect pair.
Wow, perfect pair.
That's
We're the
right.
perfect pair.
Wait till you just went off. She already knows who she truly is.
This is how it works. Who are you? Thank you. Who are you?
I'm a mother, a sister, a daughter, a friend.
Who are you?
A minister, practitioner, an expression of God.
Who are you?
Love, joy, beauty, intelligence.
Who are you?
No, I know for some of you it may be uncomfortable, but be in your own space and don't worry what anybody else is thinking, saying, or doing. And if you need to close your eyes to take yourself within to answer the question, it's all right. If you need to pause, that's all right. And in order to go deeper, the question will continue to be asked. And we're going to do that until I ring the sound of the Tibetan bowl. And then you'll get the opposite pairing, right? I mean, the same pairing, but opposite question. So I will ask the person on the left to begin with the question, who are you? And the person who is on the right to answer the question. Yes. So Connie would say, who are you? Sandy takes a moment, answer. Pregnant pause is fine. Connie says thank you with a sincere, compassionate thank you, and then ask the question again. Okay? Any questions?
Is it the person on the left who asks?
The question and says thank you, and then ask the question again.
She's actually on the right of the.
Left, left. In other words, as you paired up,
Yeah.
it's the person on the left that you're paired up with that starts with the question.
I stopped the question.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
We're sitting there, it's like she's like.
And I'm looking at you, it's the person on the left, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at you, it's the person on the left.
She was looking at us.
All right. Are you ready? Go.
Thank you. Forgot. Thank you.
Take a minute.
Seems like a long time.
I just wanted to remind everybody, because I found myself not maybe remembering it, but my partner did, that when someone answers the question, who you are, to say thank you.
Why don't we say one more thank you right now? And why don't you just close your eyes for a minute, just so you get to take that in a little bit. Soak it up. Breathe. Okay, if you bring yourself back into the room. And now we'll mirror and do the switch question answer. All right?
Creating the opportunity.
One more thank you. And then we'll take just another minute to breathe so that you get an opportunity to absorb that. So just take a quiet moment. Take it in and breathe. Crystal, I'm thinking this might be where you want to turn it off, because I'm going to ask if, to open it up to the room. Would anybody like to share? metaphor for your exchange? What we can do for each other in knowing that oneness.
Kathy, could I say something?
Please. I love my bike and I love my kids and we sort of smatter that love around. And I want to connect. And as I mentioned in my run this morning, for me, nature does that also. Somehow there is a space. There is something, healing in nature, and I'm sure science can't necessarily nail it yet, but I think they're going to. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Okay, Johnny, I loved your experience where not so much receiving the question, but asking the question. And if we can visualize asking ourselves that question. Who are you? And mention your name. That works for me to go a bit deeper. And then you hear your own voice repeat back. So there's that breath cycle. There's that oneness. There's that wholeness that you're breathing out of yourself into yourself. And truth pops up.
I imagine that. Amen. And I think you're on that track, aren't you? I noticed in doing the practice so that we can become so comfortable that it's not a mental. John, there are rhythms and spaces in between the notes. And I appreciate what you're saying in the sense of chitter chatter in our head all the time, oh yeah, I'll just get this thing, but that's not where you get it. It's in the space.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, Lisa. There was something, the coming up with the blob kind of thing, it's the miracle of who you are. In other words, when you said the blob, it's like we take for granted our body, but when you put it that way, then all of a sudden when you said that, it was like, yeah, the miracle of all of this. Wonderful appreciation that way. Yes, Linda. Third dimension, but we're multiple dimensions. I think I was teasing Michael when I said something like, my metaphor is, if anybody ever finds a drone, they never really found what drove the drone. In other words, in the drone is not the mind. Same with us. Our spirit is someplace, not someplace else. It's in us, as us, through us, and larger than us. And so when you speak to that, I know both Eckhart Tolle and Wayne Dyer talk about, like I said earlier today, there's the trio, there's the flower, you got all these labels, and then it's like, done. And you're speaking to a richness that is beyond that label.
And is there healing in that?
Space. Anybody else? Lots of different ways you can do it. So now you have a little tool in your pocket to take with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes? Okay. So for some of you, maybe you like to journal. For others of you, maybe not. If you want to be in the silence, that's fine, but we're just going to pause probably for, I'm going to say 3 minutes, just to allow you, if you have a sheet of paper and a pad, and you would like to write something to yourself. Maybe it's literally the process, maybe it's a reminder, maybe you just would like to reflect that way. I know that different people culminate their experience in different ways, so writing is another opportunity for reflection or whatever you would like to do at the moment. Again, if you just want to be in peace and in quiet, that's fine too. So about 3 minutes.
Let's just come back to awareness. Take a breath, please. Isn't that delicious? Is everyone comfortable right now? Any shifting need to happen? You know what I mean. Hearing none, we'll continue. What will be happening for you next will be a guided visualization. There will be some background sound. It's a process that I would like you to engage when I instruct you. Look at that. I love that. What? Because I believe that when we are doing a visualization, many times, if we can, say, bring something in a emotion way, or release something out, is symbolic in our whole brain, the process. So whether it's the activity of spirit in constant motion, raising and praising, there's no sound you'll have to make. There's no dancing you'll have to do. So you remain seated for the whole process, all right? So, there's your background. Thank you, Kathy. I would like you to uncross your legs and put your feet firmly on the floor. Open your hands, palms up. And I'll begin with the idea that we completed a few moments ago. Who are you? Who are you? And I would like you to breathe that I am into yourself. I am that I realized I am. I am that I realized I am. I am. I am. Say to yourself, I am oneness. I am oneness. Take a deep breath in and affirm that for yourself one more time. I am oneness. And now I invite you into your visualization in your own mind. And I present this truth to you now. Spirituality is a round table. No one can sit at the head of it. And breathe in. I am oneness. And so at the center of this divine round table, right here and right now, at the very center is love. Is the heart of this spiritual round table today. It is a holy union in the higher reality of this life. So I invite you now to
Raise your hands. Raise your hands just a little bit. Open. Palms up. And say to yourself, I am love. Ask yourself this question. Where in my life did I experience disunion? And be open to the answer. Where in my life in the past has there been a sense of loss or separation? Be open to the answer. What did this experience feel like? Breathe that in. Get in touch with the feeling. And now, feeling that emotion, I would like you to take a deep breath in and push it out, letting it go. Do that again. In and right through and out of the heart. And the third time, one more time. Releasing any of that emotion that you've held up until now. Now, cradle your arms together and imagine you're holding a newborn child. In any way that you would like to hold that child, assume that loving posture. Can you feel the skin of the child? Look into the face of this child. Look into the eyes of this child. What do you see? What do you see? It might be wholeness. It might be purity. It might be love. Just gaze into that beautiful face of that child. What colors do you see? The eyes, are they blue? Are they brown? What color? Ah, and the fragrance is so sweet, so sweet. There is nothing as sweet in fragrance as a newborn child. So I'd like you to rock that child now. Tell that child how much you love it. Tell that child that you cherish it. Tell that child that their life that's ahead of them is perfect and will unfold in divine ways. Now focus on the face of the child. Are you feeling at one with this child? Connected to this child? Look into the eyes once more. This child, this beautiful child, limitless potential. This child is you. This child is the perfection within you. This child is the love that you possess and that you share. Ah, what a beautiful child you are. Tell the child how much you love. How much you love this child. Now give this child a very tender and loving kiss. Ah, look how happy and brilliant this child is. And now in your imagination, with a heart open and filled with love, Bring that child into your heart so there is no separation. It is who and why you are. Bless yourself as the child right now. Take a big deep breath in, please. Allowing the love that you feel right now to fill you and to remind you of the truth of who you are. So take a deep breath and bring your awareness back into the room. Open your eyes when you're ready. And look around the spiritual round table. And just for a moment, It's that simple. It's that precious. It's that honoring of the oneness we are to do a process like this of connecting, of feeling, and many times just being who we are. True, open, and loving. And now, would anyone like to share verbally their experience? Or different sides to serving at a dinner table, I'm talking about. So the symbolism of that was profound to me. You know, the circle compared to the size that we sometimes take. So it's the circle of oneness here that for me, that was my intention for us today.
It came through.
Anyone else? Yes. Don't say, hey, you're coming my way, like it or not. And I think Reverend Kathy alluded to that concept this morning. But as a community, to circle the wagon, so to speak, and to, focus on what's really important, the center of our spiritual living. I think that's just powerful. And it moves more easily, more fluid, because we lubricate it with love. Anyone else? Yes, Sam?
I hesitate to
Do a process. It opens the door for greater healing, revealing, healing, opportunity to then move us to greater idea, more opportunity, more potential, more understanding. And so when we do anything like this, I would encourage you to be mindful of tonight, tomorrow, and the next day. Just to pay attention, because many times there can be some resistance. Many times there can be a naysayer on your shoulder that says, you're not that good, or you're not that holy, or you're not that spiritual self that you might have heard in this circle. That's our old stuff. That's the burden we carry. That's the release part of the process that I presented. And so you can use that. You can use that piece. Whenever something comes up that says I'm less than this or that, when you get into judgment, you can go to that place and you can hold it up, you can look at it, you can feel it, and you can off it. Sweep it away. And that, there's a lot of parts of the mental that play part in the spiritual. There's a ritual that, for generations we've had rituals that work for people, and different tools that work for people. And I'm knowing that you've found a couple, at least today, that you can take with you, pieces of this and parts of that will assist you in your spiritual journey. Yes, John.
Is a circle.
That's right.
Energetic pattern.
And it's complete within itself, most cells, most atoms. Although we interact,
They're all circles.
bounce off and contribute to, through it, the way, beyond it.
Yeah.
And, we really can't get over it. We have to get through it.
I
You
think
heard the expression, oh, get over it. Well, easier said than done.
I don't know if I get over anything.
Some of the hurdles are pretty high to jump.
Yeah.
I think it's the acceptance of the I am.
Anyone else? Anything else?
So one other thing would be that
That's a
Something
thing.
in water?
Like lime.
Yeah, that's it.
Color
That's what
marker.
I meant.
I would invite you now to take about 3 or 4 minutes, and if you want to, make some notes, and then,
Could we have a little break now? I'd like to go get some water.
yes, that's part of your break.
Yeah, so
If
2
you
or
don't
3
wanna-
minutes again for those that would like to write. For others, if you need to go, fine. Let the rest can sit in silence, and then we will follow up with the closing.
So I'll let people take a couple of seconds to finish what they're doing and.
Put it down.
All right, will you please take a deep breath in? In this space, in this essence, in this knowing of the divine source that has expressed itself through each individual here to recognize indeed our oneness, to recognize the power of connection, of knowing our true selves, of being able to be present, to see one another, to know compassionately, you are me, you are that which I am that which thou art. In this growing, in this knowing, we have expanded our awareness. We've had the experience that has grown our minds, hearts, and souls to a new awareness and recognition of this source that is divinely always in us, as us, and through us. And so I give great thanksgiving for all those being present to express here today with one another. And great gratitude for the day, for all those who made the way possible, including Crystal, who's been working in the background. And knowing that all the hands that made this so, may they be blessed. And in deep gratitude, we release this, letting it blossom and bloom. And together we say, and so it is. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's good. Did you want these today?